You never know what you'll find walking down Main Street of an old western cowboy town.
Hey partners, hold it right there. I got wanted posters on you two.
Are you sure about that, Sheriff?
How about you hand me those pistols?
The only way you're getting these guns is going to be barrel first.
Barrel first, huh?
Cheyenne gunslingers, 30 years of falling down, trying to get back up.
It's time for Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days, sponsored by Wyoming Home.
Welcome to an inside look at Cheyenne Frontier Days of 2013. What you just saw were the gunslingers. They've been around for 30 years. As for Frontier Days, been around for 117.
117. Can you even count that high?
If I had a calculator, maybe.
Well, I'm Cicalise.
And I'm Anthony Keith, obviously your host, tour guides throughout the entire show. So whether this is your first rodeo,
or if you've been going to Frontier Days since you could walk.
Or ride.
Oh, pun, I like that.
Another one that I spent about 16 hours working on. The show is full of puns. We're obviously gonna let you know everything that's new and fun about this week-long event that is just full of surprises. So sit back and relax, enjoy the show.
I'm joined here by the General Chairman, Darren Westby. He's here to talk about what's new with the 2013 Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo. I am sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm very curious. What's new?
Well, I'm excited to have you out. The newest thing that we need to make sure that the public knows is that we're starting the rodeo a half hour earlier this year. Very significant to make sure that people are on time, obviously. Hate to have them miss the first part of the rodeo thinking it was the older show.
Of course.
Part of the reason behind that is to try to improve our entertainment product, not only at the rodeo, but also with the larger production of the night shows. We needed that extra half hour, which rolls me right into the next new thing is the Fast Pass this year. If you buy a rodeo ticket and a standing room only party zone ticket for a concert, and you want to get in a half hour early before anybody else in the standing room area, you can purchase the Fast Pass and that would give you that access.
All right, so there are folks out there like myself, we like to rush in, get things first.
Right.
It's good for those folks.
Get up close to the stage, that Fast Pass is the deal.
Great, and I heard you have some new beautification that you've done to the whole arena.
Yes, thank you. Around the park, the board of directors was gracious enough to give us some money to reinvestment of our profits from 2012 to put back into the park to make it a better event for our consumers. And one of the areas that we're working on is the beautification, and so hopefully our consumers get to feel that.
And now this is the 117th annual rodeo. So I have to ask you, how are you guys keeping with tradition?
Tradition is a very backbone of our decision-making process out here. There's very few things that we do that actually signifies anything other than tradition. So volunteer tradition is probably the biggest one that we're very proud of, and having 117 years of volunteerism is very impressive, and we're very proud of that.
And I have to say, I'm not from around here, but I came to the last year's rodeo. I was so impressed by I felt like I was really in the West, years back. So I love how you guys really keep the tradition. And you have any last words you wanted to mention to people?
No, just please come out. We got a lot of great tickets, a lot of events. We pride ourselves on the whole event. And so there's a lot of tickets still available at cfdrodeo.com.
Well, we really thank you for everything that you do. I'm so excited for this next year's rodeo. So.
Well, we're excited too. Thank you.
All right, and thank you for coming out.
Well, right now we're at the Old West Museum and just celebrated a birthday. So joining me right now, the museum's curator, Mike Castle. Mike, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And the big birthday celebration, tell me about it.
Big birthday, 35 years old. The Old West Museum celebrated July 9th. We just had a fantastic day with a lot of fantastic events, kicking off a brand new exhibit, brand new displays, and a wonderful start to our Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Love hearing all that. And of course, if you've never been to the Old West Museum, there's so much history in here. If you've been here before, there's a lot of new exhibits. What's new this year?
What's new this year is that after we did a major renovation of the museum, we have completely redone our storytelling for Cheyenne Frontier Days. We're actually standing in the middle of it, a brand new show. We've been putting it together since early last year, and we're seeing the final result. This is a brand new look for the museum, and it's a whole new story. I think people will really enjoy it. It still talks about the old familiar Cheyenne Frontier Days, but it really likes to focus on how everything got started. So this is only the first step. We actually have even more of a story that we want to tell, but that's going to be something we're going to develop over a couple of years, but this is really something that I think people will enjoy.
Love hearing that. One exhibit I remember from last year, Thunderbirds, and for those of you that don't know, there's going to be no flyover this year because of budget cuts. Tradition-wise, what does that mean for CFD?
Well, for CFD, this is kind of interesting. I mean, this is one of the first times that Cheyenne Frontier Days has not had the Thunderbirds flying over our skies. This was the first public performance that the Thunderbirds did, was fly here at Cheyenne Frontier Days during the 57th annual CFD in 1954. They'd only been around for about a year, and we were one of the first places that they came out. And so they've been consistently with us, and so we miss them. They're not gracing our sky this year. Next year, we hope they come back.
And you've got a lot of their history in here too, so those who are still interested can still come and learn about Thunderbirds and past flights.
Absolutely. The military has always been deeply involved with Cheyenne Frontier Days. With everything that the military has done for the community and for Cheyenne Frontier Days, we have to give them recognition.
Last question for you, Mike. What makes this museum unique?
Well, what makes this museum a lot of fun, and even our old visitors that have come back and think that we never change, we're always changing, just like Cheyenne Frontier Days. What sets us apart from other museums in the United States is, unlike some museums that have a definitive beginning and an end, our story hasn't been told yet. So Cheyenne Frontier Days is always coming up with new things, they're always coming up with new stories, and we get to watch it happen, and we get to bring it into the museum and try and explain it in context. So it's fun. We have an open-ended story.
That's great to hear, and everybody in the public can be a part of that history by coming up to Hidden Frontier Days this year, 117th and 35th birthday. Congrats on that, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
It's a pleasure. Thanks again.
Well, what would Cheyenne Frontier Days be without the rodeo?
That's right, and the PRCA brings some of the best cowboys and cowgirls in the world.
Well, it is the largest outdoor rodeo in the world.
Not quite as large as your head.
Thank you.
Wasn't a compliment.
I'll take it as one, but hey, stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking rodeo, obviously, but for right now, here's a look at some of the other events taking place during Frontier Days.
Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home. Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home.
We're now joined by the head honcho of Cheyenne Frontier Days, the CEO, Dan Cheney. Dan, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Now, you've been a part of Cheyenne Frontier Days. This is your fourth year now, fourth go-around. Just tell me, what's it been like the past few years being a part of CFD?
Well, it's great being part of the 2,400 volunteers that make this happen. And their effort is just monumental in putting this world-class Western celebration together. Just being a part of that team has been great.
And it really is world-class. So much tradition, so much going on. 117 years of this. You're a Wyoming guy. What would Wyoming be without Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Oh, I don't know. You know, that's a good question. And as a kid, I was brought here by my parents, and it was just the largest thing that I'd ever seen, and I was completely mesmerized by the size and everything to do here. Then I came as a contestant, even more mesmerized at that 30-foot score line that's unique to anywhere in the world, and the big cattle that we use, and then turn around and be here on this side, on the business side, 20, 25 years later. It's great just to be part of this team.
That business side, whole new world, I'm sure. And this is an event that goes on for more than a week and a half, so much going on. How do you pull this all together in time?
Well, you know, the volunteers work on it year-round. There's a core group that meet every month, and they plan and for 12 months prior to. And so, and in some cases, we're working on next year's show as early as April of the year before. So
really, that's crazy. There's so much heart and soul that really goes into this event. I've heard time and time again, it wouldn't exist without the volunteers. What kind of environment does that set up throughout this week and a half long tradition that's going on? Having the volunteers come and put in, what environment is it like?
Well, you know, people volunteer because they're passionate about something. That's very important, and people are passionate about Frontier Days. It's such a long, enduring brand, and it's recognized year-round, worldwide and year-round, that they want to be a part of that. And so getting to work with those folks that are really passionate about what they do, improving the climate, the economic climate here in Cheyenne, that's very rewarding.
So true. Last question for you, Dan. Why should people get out of here? Why do people need to head up the 117th Daddy of Mall?
Well, there's several different reasons. I think one is there's just so much to do. You know, from the Indian Village where we're at here, Old Frontier Town, world-class rodeos, world-class concerts. There's so much for the family to do. It's very reasonably priced, and you know, we have something that's recognized worldwide right here in Cheyenne. And so, you know, regionally and nationally, we'll be focused here in the coming days as the celebration starts. And come out and enjoy the fun and enjoy everything that Frontier Days has to offer.
So much fun. In the 4 years you've been here, it only gets better and better, which is hard to do. So thank you so much,
Yes,
Dan.
thank you.
Great to talk to you. And
Yes.
again, looking forward to the 117th.
Absolutely.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
So after the rodeo, it's great to grab a bite to eat and prep for the nightlife.
That's right, because nighttime is when the real party starts.
Except you're not invited.
It's just like high school all over again. But hey, stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking concerts. But right now, here's a look at your PRCA schedule.
Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home. Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home.
Well, we spoke a lot about tradition with Cheyenne Frontier Days, but one of the greatest and most exciting traditions are the gunslingers.
Howdy folks, we are the Cheyenne Gunslingers. We've been doing this for 30 years. Right now I'm going to take you through a safety demo that Lucky, our cowboy over there, our gunslinger, he's going to show you what happens when a 6-shooter meets an empty soda can. We're going to set up now for what we call the quick draw, the fastest draw, and that would be me. And I'm going to hit a target as fast as possible. One more, it's called the curve bullet. The curve bullet, it's got a curve. It's got to go around, and it's got to hit the target. Right now we got, Lucky's going to hold that balloon again.
I've got some new glasses to do this.
New glasses to do the curve bullet? Oh, folks, this could be tough. Over here, come on over here. Put that gun down. Come on over here. So he's got some shooting glasses. This ought to be wonderful. No, 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 behind your head.
Behind my head.
Because it curves, He's got to get the target behind your head, Lucky.
Are you crazy?
No, but you're lucky.
I'm lucky. We'll see how lucky.
We got the Calico got the curved bullet happening, and it went well.
I'm joined here by the Cheyenne Gunslingers and the Deputy Chief Marshal, Lucky. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about
Thank
yourself?
you so much for coming out here, guys. You guys put on a great performance. First question, what are the Gunslingers?
Well, Cheyenne Gunslingers, in a nutshell, is an outdoor melodrama with gunfire.
It definitely is a melodrama, I have to tell you. I just watched you guys and my heart's still pounding.
We don't do any recreations of you. We just have fun.
Yeah, no, you guys, it's a fun time and it's definitely an exciting time. And I heard that during your performances, you get people involved in your little
That's
acts.
true. That's true. We usually pick a tourist out of the audience and we lynch them.
And so what does that mean? What does that exactly involve?
Well, we put the hanging noose around them, and we have the rest of the audience be the jury and decide whether we should hang him or not. Usually they say, yeah, go ahead and hang him. And about that time, the sheriff walks in and says, you can't be hanging tourists, especially if they're going to spend money in town. So then we have to come up with some other way, and the other way is to basically give them a new cowboy hat.
See, well, you know what, I'm pretty happy I'm not that particular tourist. But what I do want to ask you though is, you know, it's the tradition, the Gunslingers. How does that tie in with Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Well, originally, this gentleman on your left, Marvin Wolf, he and another Cheyenne businessman downtown decided that they wanted to bring more people downtown. People were leaving the downtown area to find things to do, so they wanted to bring people back downtown for entertainment. And they came up with the Gunslingers. And that, because it's more Western, traditional, and whatnot. So that's what brought it on.
And so how do you get involved with the Gunslingers?
Well, you come to a couple of our meetings. We have one meeting a month, third Tuesday of the month. And if you decide it's something you want to get involved with, then you fill out an application, we vote on you, and you're in.
So where can people go to check you guys out?
Well, Gunslinger Square is where we do all of our performances, and that is at 15th and Pioneer, which is 2 blocks west of the depot. And currently our performances are Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening, noon on Saturday. Starting Frontier Days, which will be the 19th, Friday, we start 2 shows a day, which is at noon and 6 every day except Sunday, and on Sunday we just do it at noon.
All right, well, thank you, Lucky. Thank you guys for coming out here. That's the Cheyenne Gunslingers.
Outside the rodeo, CFD is known for great concerts, a unique environment, and the man who knows the most about it this year, Larry Keel. Larry, thanks so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys coming out today.
Well, talk about this year's lineup. It's great.
We're really excited. I think this is the best lineup we've ever had in 117 years, and I think we're going to have great shows, great crowds, and this year we're going to have a chance to break our CFD attendance record for a night show.
Get it done. So you're claiming best in 117 years. That is a bold statement right there. But love hearing that. A lot of people are wondering why bringing Journey back for a second year. What was the decision in that?
Well, we were looking at a different act for Friday night, and that unfortunately didn't work out for us. We went back, looked at our market research, what our customers wanted. Everybody thought last year's Journey show was incredible, so we thought we'd go ahead and bring them back a second year, and this time we're going to add Styx, who they put on one of the best performances in classic rock in the country. So that's going to be a great combination.
I will not argue that one bit. Talk a little bit about the environment. We got outdoor concerts in essentially 2 different styles, party zone versus hanging out in the stands.
One of the things that separates our venue from places like the Pepsi Center, a lot of the sporting fields in Denver, is it's a very intimate environment. I mean, no matter where you are in the stands, you are no more than probably 100, 150 yards from the stage. That's incredibly close no matter what seat you're in. The party zone is where the action happens. I mean, it is truly a great party down there up in the stands. We have great stands. We've got a lot of good seats left, so if people are still interested, they can get out, get online, buy some tickets, or come out to the park and get tickets.
The sooner the better, because you never know when they might sell out. Last question for you, Larry. People think Frontier Days, rodeo's a big part of that, but what would Frontier Days be without the concerts?
You know, I think the concerts are a very big part of our entertainment package that we're offering all of our customers. It gives people a reason to come out to the park at night. We've got a great time out here at the park. After the concert, they can go over to the Buckingham. We have live music with Chancey Williams and the Younger Brothers. So, I mean, we've got it all from 10 o'clock in the morning till midnight. It's all happening right here.
Great to hear. Well, Larry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course, Chancey Williams, if those of you who don't know, actually rode rodeo to himself, horses, so that's something to check out. And Buckingham Saloon, always a fun time. All kicks off starting Friday, July 19th, so we'll see you out there. Enough about the concerts. You know all of them are going to be a good time.
That's right. Well, a lot of people follow Kate Middleton in England, but we have our own royalty right here in Cheyenne.
Who's Kate Middleton?
You're helpless.
On the other side of the break, meet Lady in Waiting and Miss Frontier. We'll be right back, but for right now, here's a look at that concert schedule.
Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home. Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home.
Well, every now and then you gotta take a break from Frontier Park and get out in the wonderful city of Cheyenne. And who knows the capital city better than the mayor himself, Mayor Rick Kaysen. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, Mayor. Well, first big question, you're a Cheyenne man. Tell me, what does Frontier Days mean to the city?
You know, after 117 years of celebrating Frontier Days, it means a tremendous amount, not only for the residents, but the tourists, the visitors that come to Cheyenne. So we get to showcase our city as well as the Frontier Day celebration. So we've grown up, in a manner of speaking, with Frontier Days, the city has, and it's a powerful event, and it's a powerful way to show what Cheyenne is all about.
And a day that a lot of locals are excited for, Cheyenne Day. They get to leave work early, hit up the rodeo, have a fun time. What is it about that day that makes it so special?
It brings the community together along with the visitors, as I mentioned. It is special because it's an opportunity for the Cheyenne residents and the businesses as well to celebrate that part of Frontier Days. So again, it's a partnership that has worked very well over the years, and it means a lot to the folks that reside here in Cheyenne.
Well, what was your favorite memories? I mean, you've been through how many Frontier Days? Just talk about that favorite part.
I'm not sure I have a favorite part. I have very many favorite parts, but I think one of the ones that stand out in mind is the performer Chris Ledoux. He's a Wyoming lad. I've seen him in many performances, and that is part of Wyoming. That is part of Cheyenne. So you know, Chris was a main part of that. And but there's so many popular things, so many great memories, and that's why I continue to go to replace those memories.
Definitely Chris Ledoux, a man who's ridden and performed. So that's a definitely unique situation, and great that you bring that up. Last question for you, Mayor. As far as Frontier Days again as a whole, what would this city be without Frontier Days?
I don't even want to think about what it would mean. It's an icon for our city, without a doubt. Just the economic impact is tremendous. But when you travel our great state, when you travel our great nation, and folks here in Cheyenne, they migrate to Frontier Days as well. So don't want to think about not having Frontier Days. Let's just put it that way.
Well, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us on the
Welcome.
show. And if you're from out of town, you see Mayor around, don't be afraid to say hi. Good man.
Come up and say howdy. We appreciate you coming.
Perfect. Well, two very recognizable ladies are going to be the lady in waiting, the Miss Frontier. We met Miss Frontier last year in Chloe. Lady in waiting this year, we've got Casey. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us on the show. First question go to Chloe. You know, you've done Miss Frontier for a year now. Just talk about that experience.
The experience is absolutely amazing. I mean, the best part I think about the job is, you know, going to these rodeos and seeing the little girls that look up to you and smile, and they just love it and they want to be you one day, and it's just a great experience, and the feeling you get from this is like nothing else I've ever experienced, and I've had such a great time. I'm almost sad to see it go.
It's been great. I grew up here in Cheyenne, and I was been around this rodeo since I was a little kid. I've either attended or volunteered every year since before I was born even. And so it's been really interesting, you know, having a part in this situation, and I've really enjoyed this year so far, learning from Chloe, learning more about this rodeo, and I can't wait till next year to continue it.
And what are you looking to hope to contribute to Cheyenne Frontier Days?
Well, like I said, it's in my heart and soul, and I love it, and I just want to experience as much as I can. The people I've met has been amazing, and that's been my favorite so far. And it's kind of humbling just to see how many amazing people there are that are involved with Cheyenne Frontier Days. It's amazing.
It is. It definitely is.
Busy time for these two ladies, and if you see them around the park, come up, say hi. They're very sociable. I do want to end it with a little bit of a traditional song that you ladies sing. Hit us with.
Alrighty. Cheyenne Frontier Days, here we go again. A big Wyoming showdown where the cowboy is the king. A part of Western history, a legend walking tall. Cheyenne Frontier Days, the daddy of them all.
Well, Cheyenne Frontier Days all kicks off July 19th. And just for a little heads up, chance to win the car behind us, Dodge Dart. All you have to do is get a rodeo ticket for July 24th, and you've got a chance to start the Dart. It's that easy.
That's right. So dust off those boots, button up those shirts, and gear up for Cheyenne Frontier Days. And most importantly, don't forget your buckle.
Oops. Anyways, I'm Anthony Keene.
And I'm Chloe.
Inside Look at Cheyenne Frontier Days is sponsored by Wyoming Home,